with the law, I set up information stations that teach what and who these veterans were and what they did. I want to be able to share this information. So someone came up to me and said, instead of just having it when you set up, why don't you put it on the internet? Well, that's when Touch the Wall started. It was a family event. My oldest daughter came up with the name. Both daughters taught me how to use the internet and program a website. And my husband continues to travel around with me, helping me set up, answer questions. He's been a godsend. And on a personal note, I'd like to tell you that we have never accepted a penny for traveling around to the Moving World sites. We do this because we love our veterans. Now, recently on my website, a man came across it and noticed a name, and it brought back a lot of memories to him. And he contacted me and said he thinks it was time for him to share with what he knew with the family. And I gave him my phone number, which I normally do not give out, and he did call. And while he was trying to talk to me, you could see he was in great distress because he had buried this information for 40 years. He was the crew chief that strapped in my MIA for his last flight out of Laos. But he really wanted to talk to the family. To make a long story short, I have put both the crew chief in touch with the Herrick family. And now 2 families are healing. The crew chief has now been able to deal with his past memories, and the family knows more about the night Jim was lost. But this is why I volunteer. I volunteer to help those veterans who really need to talk. I want them to lean on me when they come to the wall and listen, and that's what they need, someone to listen. I volunteer for the person who wears a POW MIA bracelet. And when they come, they want to know what the fate is. And amazingly, a lot of them still have the original Viva bracelets. So if I can tell them they've been repatriated, or they actually came back in 1973, you can't imagine what that does for them. I want to volunteer because of the families who recently lost their Vietnam veteran and know the name will never be engraved on the memorial. And what I want to tell them is they are respected, they are a hero, and we want to recognize them. So there was a program called the In Memory Program, and it's been set up to honor these veterans once a year. And I explain how they can get this done. I volunteer because of the Gold Star mothers whose sons are on the memorial. And I volunteer for the sons and daughters whose fathers are on the memorial. I volunteer to meet with all generations of those that served in the military because sometimes we just don't understand. And I want to bridge a gap. I show them that they may have not fought in the same conflict, but they all fought for the same reason. Communication and support is what's desperately needed. I volunteer because someone that may come up to the wall and say, I don't really know anyone. I ask them, would you like to meet a veteran? And I give them a name and I walk them down to the wall. And when they touch that name for the very first time, you cannot imagine the emotion that goes through them. And I volunteer for the students who come to the wall because there is so much to learn. But first they must learn duty, honor, country, and respect. And I volunteer because if I can teach just one person and support someone, I know I'm speaking for my generation who may no longer be able to speak for themselves. Thank you very much. God bless you. God bless you all.
Karen, thank you very much. That was most moving. Has anybody in this room not been to the Vietnam Veterans Memorial in Washington? I was telling Sharon at lunch that the first time I was there, it was quite a shock because I'd seen the pictures and I'd seen TV coverage, and I thought to myself, it's really kind of dopey. But once I got there for the first time, I couldn't imagine what a powerful experience that was. So we really appreciate everything you did. And just as a little token, yes, a little token of your appearance here with MOAS, we have our MOA purpose tumblers for you and your husband.
All right. Okay.